it's Chris from Poseidon. Going to take a look at the Armstrong FG Wing board, which I've been meaning to do a review on for a while because this thing's been really popular for a massive range of riders and getting a lot of questions about it on who it's for. And what's super impressive is in the right size. It's kind of suitable for just about everyone and every sort of riding style. So this thing comes in a massive range of sizes, 10 different sizes, all the way down to 34 litres for your little shredders, right the way up to 135 litres for your bigger guys, your people starting out. So you can pick something which is suitable for you. What's a little bit different is we're looking at the 70 litre here, which is 5 foot long. It's 22 inches wide. So they've narrowed this thing right down compared to what was their older board, the Wing Sup board, and they've packed all of the volume into its depth here. Initially, when you see a fat board, sometimes you can worry that all of that depth is going to create a bit of distance between you and the foil and the mast, and you're going to feel a bit of a disconnection. It's going to feel a little bit spongy. But with the Armstrong boards here, the construction's so good. It's a full carbon fiber board. On the bottom here, to take a look, they use their own proprietary carbon fiber tracks, which then are mounted to and double as a stringer, which runs the whole length of the board. I believe that's mounted to the top plate as well. And what you feel when you're on it, even though you've got this fat board, is this really tight, stiff connection to your foil. So they've packed all that volume in there. You're still feeling the foil, but that allowed them to narrow the board up, which ultimately makes it accelerate a lot faster. So you'll notice it straight away when you jump on this board. As soon as you create a bit of motion with the wing, it just picks up speed very, very quickly, and it will gather that speed very, very fast. And so it makes this board takes off very easy, and it makes it very easy to get going when you're underpowered or when you're starting out. It's got a fairly flat rocker on here, a bit of dramatic sweep just at the end here with a bit of a spine in the middle and a tiny little bit of tail rocker here. And what this means is this flat rocker really helps it to accelerate fast. The nose is stopping it sticking in, and you don't at any point feel like it's going to stab down under the water. But that little bit of tail rocker, fairly flat, but just a little kick at the end, means it's really forgiving when you're heavy-footed. So whether you're trying to stamp it up on the foil or whether it's coming down from a jump, you feel like it's planted and it's very stable on the water, and it makes it very forgiving to come up. Now, sometimes that sort of a flat rocker can create a board that almost sticks, and it's hard to create the speed. But that narrowness, which then comes through to these beveled rails, means it doesn't stick and it accelerates really fast. So it's a really easy going board to get on. It is narrower, which means if you don't have any speed whatsoever, it is a little bit tippy. So you want to create a little bit of motion. For sure, in the smaller sizes, it's going to be for somebody which is a little bit more experienced and able to jump straight on their board and create some speed. If it's your first board, you're going to want to think about going for those bigger sizes. And whereas some wider boards, you might be able to sneak down a size, thinking you're not going to want to upgrade. On this one, you're going to want to make sure to keep a little bit of width by going up a size. But the benefit with this board is through that really stiff construction, even on the bigger boards, it feels lively and it feels fun and it feels like you're not going to grow out of it. It's got a super long track, which is mounted quite far forwards on the board, which allows you to run the foils really central. Two benefits is that by having that foil further forwards, your board feels a lot more balanced, making it feel smaller. There's less board in front of the mast. And then it also allows you to run a smaller foil. You've got more lift at the front there. So with that big long track, that stiff construction kind of sat at the front, means that you can really grow your ability without having to change the board size really quickly. So that construction is second to none, and you can really feel it when you're getting up and going. On the top, on the deck here, they've put a lot of love into the deck pad and into the deck shape. So it's scooped out a little bit in here, a lot less than their previous SUP version, but you can still see it's beveled down. And then they've kind of enhanced that with a little bit of a kick on the deck pad here, at the back, at the front, right on the tail there, which really helps you feel where you are on the board. And when you're kneeling down looking to get going, you can feel where the edges are, stops you kind of rolling off the edge. But then it's also when you're standing up, you can feel it. You can sense exactly where those points are. So you kind of know where you're feeling on the board, which is a really nice feature. And they've used that kind of lifting. It's just a really clever feature here, right above the mast track, these bulges here, which aren't enough to get in your way of riding, but they're a perfect amount to feel exactly where the box is, which means as you're riding along, if you're not using straps especially, you're able to position yourself just through your senses of knowing where you are over the mast to be able to move back or forwards as you'd like. It comes with inserts, so you can run foot straps on there. They've got options to run V as a V strap, which they've got, or 2 independents. They've got loads of options at the back, so you can offset, so you can hold it straight. They've got the breathing hole here, so travel friendly. And what they've basically created here is a board which is really versatile for everyone. So in those bigger sizes, it's going to help people get up and going. Its construction means it still feels really good, even on the bigger sizes. But then it's kind of square outline, high surface area on the bottom, even with that narrow shape, means that it lends itself very well to, say, wave riding. If you slap the wave, slap some white water, it bounces back off very, very well. And for the freestyle guys, that really predictable square outline means when you do touch down, it feels stable. You're central on the board, you can feel exactly where it is, and you can bounce back up again really, really quickly. So I think one of the standout things for me about this board is quite how lively it feels when you're up and you're on foil. Even if you're riding the bigger boards, the construction and the feeling of this board is so rigid, it's super, super lively underfoot. And its narrow width, its stiff kind of construction and your connection means you can push it through turns and you can really feel the performance that this board has given you. And it's an absolute joy to ride because the harder you push, the harder it will let you drive forwards. And one other thing, it's Armstrong. So it's a high quality, no expense spared sort of a vibe. So it comes as standard with a high quality board bag to look after your gear. So a little bit more expensive, but definitely check this thing out.